Your top story at 3, Police Minister Fikile Mbalula says former Hawks head Berning Ntlemeza's presence at the Hawks offices in Pretoria today is unlawful. Mbalula has told the media that the court order of April the 17th against Ntlemwza still stands and is currently being executed. He says Mbalula is unlawfully in possession of a state vehicle and a cell phone. He's instructed Acting Police Commissioner Khomotso Phahlane to ensure that the state property in Ntlemwza's possession is recovered before the end of business today. It's understood that General Ntlemwza has had a meeting with management and is continuing with his duties as the head of Hawks. Ntlemwza had been removed from his post by new Police Minister Fikile Mbalula 2 weeks ago. Mbalula used a High Court ruling ordering Ntlemwza's appointment to be set aside. The court further ordered that Ntlemwza must leave his post immediately regardless of any appeals. Mbalula then went on to appoint an acting head, General Yolisa Madagata, and a defined Ntlemwza has petitioned the Supreme Court of Appeal in an attempt to keep his job. His lawyers argue while Ntlemwza's appeal is pending, the principle is that the High Court order must be suspended until the SCA makes a ruling on the matter. Our reporter Sipho Sturman is on the line to us from Pretoria to give us more details on this story. Sipho, a very good afternoon to you. Berning Ntlemeza reported for duty today. What exactly were some of the tasks that he carried out today? Can you tell us?
Good afternoon to you, Ayan, and our viewers at home. Indeed, Ntlemeza this time around reported for duty. You would remember even the previous week there were reports that he was going to come, but he was a no-show, and it later was revealed that he is still on leave. But then this morning he kept his word and he did come through. We understand it was just after 7 in the morning, and what had happened is that there was a Hawks management meeting which he then joined according to the briefing that we got from the minister, and then after that briefing he then demanded a state vehicle and a state cell phone, which he then used the vehicle later on to exit the building on an assignment that is not known to us nor the minister, and since he had left in the afternoon he hasn't come back. And when the minister did visit the Hawks premises, Ntlemwza himself wasn't there, and of course now the minister then ordered that Ntlemwza should return all state properties. He had instructed the acting police commissioner, that is General Phahlane, to recoup all state assets that are in the possession of Ntlemwza. He really emphasized that the status quo remains, and that is General Yolisa Takata is the acting head, and that Ntlemwza had no business to report to duty this morning. Alicia.
Look, Sipho, I mean, still on that, I mean, now, Police Minister Fikile Mbalula has just had a briefing just a few minutes ago. What did he say about the legality of Ntlemwza actually reporting for duty? Because we do know that Ntlemwza's lawyer is saying that while the appeals process is still intact, they cannot legally force him to be out of office.
Well, it was very straightforward. The minister, Mr. Mbalula, made it clear that he says firstly that he consulted widely, getting various legal advice on this matter before obviously he took that decision to remove Ntlemwza 2 weeks ago. And he says that the attempt to enter the Hawks premises by Ntlemwza is actually quite illegal, and saying that up until the Supreme Court of Appeal overturns the High Court ruling that his appointment be set aside, then he has no business to be at the Hawks. Now, the lawyers, as we know, are arguing that since Ntlemwza is appealing, then that automatically suspends the High Court ruling that was made on March 17. However, the court then later also granted another ruling order saying that despite of any appeals by Ntlemwza, he must still do so outside of his position. And so that is what has empowered the minister to carry on and then appointing a new acting head and thus removing Ntlemwza. He says this is not a decision that he has taken himself or a personal vendetta against Ntlemwza, but simply implementing a court order, and he believes that he's on the right side of the law and that Ntlemwza should have stayed at home and fight his battles in court. He actually brought the example of the IPID head, that is Robert McBride, who was, of course, suspended by the previous police minister, that is Nathi Nhleko, and then McBride did stay at home and was eventually, of course, eventually got his job back through the Constitutional Court, saying that anybody who feels that they've been undone, they have a right to fight those battles, but
through the proper
fight
processes.
them in court and not be defiant and come on duty when they are not supposed to report for duty.
Absolutely. Sipho, a very quick one. Have you had any response from him, or that is Ntlemeza, or his lawyer at this stage? And you did tell us that he's still got, of course, the state car and state property with him.
Well, we did speak to the lawyer earlier on and saying that, they said to us, of course, they confirmed that he was at work first, and they're saying that there was nothing wrong that his client was doing, because they believe that the principle in law is that when you're appealing a matter, the suspension, the court order is automatically suspended, and so that he was within his rights to report on duty, and that they will carry on and exhaust each and every legal avenue available in an attempt for Ntlemeza to keep his job. So the lawyers are talking tough, the minister is talking tough, and we will see where it goes. But for now, the minister has instructed that Ntlemeza be not allowed within the premises of the Hawks, and that acting police commissioner must track his whereabouts and retrieve all state assets from him.
All right, Sipho, just another quick one. What is then happening with the new acting head of Hawks? Is she in the office? Has she been able to carry out her duties since being instigated, or rather instituted into office last week?
Well, the minister emphasized that Lieutenant General Matakata will remain in her position, and that her staff reports to General Matakata and not General Ntlemeza. Ntlemeza is simply, he's out of the force, according to them, that they're saying that what he's doing, he is creating, he calls it the days of our life, he's creating a soap, he's creating drama, and that it's an embarrassing situation. That should not have happened. But the status quo remains. Matakata is the one that's in charge of the Hawks right now, and should Ntlemeza have an issue with that, then he should fight his battles in court, but outside of the Hawks. But right now, the boss lady remains General Matakata.
Thank you so much for that sound update. Sipho Sturman on the line to us from Pretoria, telling us why Berning Ntlemeza reported for duty this morning, despite a court order stating he shouldn't be at the Hawks as its head.